Alright, let's take a look at the chart action for Cardano. In my last video, we were looking at this triangle pattern like this. We got a breakout right here, and we were targeting from the bottom to the top of this triangle. And we actually hit the target pretty much perfectly. I was targeting 1.89, and we came up and hit that target, and then we started trending down, which is actually pretty funny. So if we go into the 1 hour time frame, we had a few different uptrends going. We had one going something like this, another one going like this, something like that. So we had basically three uptrends: this big one, and then this next one, and then another one. So I was watching these trend lines, and we actually broke that first one going to the downside. And so as you can see here, we have some sort of like a downtrend. So we had that first downtrend with resistance, resistance, downtrend, and then we had another one, resistance, resistance. It's kind of getting a little like parabolic sort of. So we have this trend line going something like this. Basically, I'm watching these lines for a signal to buy back. So I took some profits at this area when we got this signal, this bearish signal. And then basically what I'm watching now is we have a downtrend, and until we break this downtrend going up, I'm assuming that we're going down pretty much and looking for pretty much a retracement. And there's a couple different things that we can look for a retracement for. I haven't used this in my videos in a while, but we can do something like when you get a big huge run, or a big run anyways. This wasn't like the biggest run, but we could do from the bottom to the top and give us some Fibonacci levels. This is a Fibonacci retracement tool, and we could look at the 50% level and the 38% level. And basically in general, what I would say is, or what I do is, when I take profits, I'll dollar cost average back into these levels, just so I have levels that are predetermined, and I know where I could put where I can kind of look for bounces on. Usually in these uptrends, and then usually in these retracements, they'll get bounces on these Fibonacci levels. And so let's say we get a bounce right here, you could take profits at this level when we start to come back down, or just depends on how you want to play it. So yeah, we're in a downtrend right now, in my opinion, on Cardano, and these are the levels I'll be watching to kind of dollar cost average back into Cardano. So we're on the 1 hour time frame. You could also argue that you could use this Fibonacci retracement on like a bigger time frame. So we had this big run up from the daily time frame, and I mean, you could kind of make an argument to see if we can use this Fibonacci retracement on the daily time frame, drag from the top to the bottom to the top, and that gives us levels to watch again. So I mean, the 50% level is right around where we had that previous resistance right here. This is that 50% level, and it's this line right here, and it's basically right where we had that resistance line before that we broke out of. So it'd be kind of interesting if we came back down and retested all the way back down here. I would say maybe watch this 38% level. That's kind of somewhere in between, kind of around this trend line. Maybe if we come down and have to retest this trend line, that makes a little sense right there at 1.575, somewhere like that. I'm not really sure what's happening. Like I said, I haven't sold all my position or anything like that. I'm just kind of dollar cost averaging in and out and kind of trading this a little bit. I know that we're kind of going on this downtrend, so yeah, let's see how far this trends down, and let's see if these Fibonacci levels actually come into play. This first one at this 23% level is at 1.70. And sometimes they even bounce on these top ones, but I like looking at the 38% level and the 50% level. I need to start using these Fibonacci retracement tools more. I kind of stopped using them, but we actually broke the 9 moving average on the 4 hour time frame. So the 9 moving average is right here, this blue line right here, and we actually broke below that there. If you look on the daily time frame, we're still clearly above the 9 moving average, and this is sitting at around 1.53. So like I like to talk about, if we can stay above this moving average, even if we come back down and test on it and then get support on it and keep moving up, that's still a good sign. But we are a lot, but there is some distance between the price and the moving average right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had to come down and kind of look for that moving average to retest on. Like I said in my previous videos though, we still have this big uptrend going like this. We still have this big uptrend going like this big one. Until we break this trend line going to the downside as well, I am assuming that we are still bullish. So yeah, I'm still watching this. This is what the main probably trend line that I'm watching on the bigger time frame. If we kind of zoom out on the daily time frame, I still think that we're looking pretty good. It's just that we might be coming in for a little correction. We got a nice big run, and you know, we can't run forever. We got to do little corrections when we get these little runs. It's healthy. That's what we want. We don't want huge, big old crazy moves, because then we're going to get huge, crazy downsides. We want gradual ups and then get a little correction and then keep going up and stuff like that. That's healthy. But yeah, the other thing I guess we could look at is the total crypto market cap. And if we go into this 4-hour time frame as well, see, this looks kind of the same thing. We had a rising wedge on the 4-hour time frame. We broke below that, and that was the other signal that I've been watching, is we're trending down, and until we break this trend line right here, we could look at the 1 hour and get a better view. But yeah, so on the smaller time frame, it looks like we're getting a little bearish, but when you go back to the bigger time frame, same with this one, we have this big huge uptrend. We have this pretty nice uptrend going something like this, and until we break this trend line right here, I'm not really worried about these per se. Maybe we can get some little trades going, and while we retest this one, I'm trying to get some buybacks down here. I'm not selling all my positions, but I took a little bit of profits up here, and let's see if we can get some buybacks down here. But in general, like I said, this uptrend is still looking good, so I'll have to be careful about, you probably want to be careful about shorting if you do short it, because it's possible that it just holds support and it goes sideways and then it gets supported and starts moving up. But yeah, I would say watch this trend line. It's possible that it breaks to the downside. This is what I will be watching. But yeah, pretty cool. We came up and hit my target. Let's see if we could keep riding this uptrend. Maybe we could come up and retest this all-time high up here at around 2.30, somewhere around there, 2.31. We'll have to wait and see if this trend line can hold support and keep giving us an uptrend. Also, the daily 9 moving average, this is looking good. The other thing is the weekly time frame. If we go into that, this moving average is looking good as well. Let's delete that trend line. We have this 9 moving average on the weekly time frame. We broke above that right there. Let's see if we can stay above this weekly 9 moving average. We might have to come back down and retest it though. Alright, if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to keep up to date. Also, if you haven't checked out my TikTok, you go check out the party over there.